You guys, Jeffrey Epstein doesn't exist, is what I would say if I was in the FBI. Yo, this has to be some of the dumbest shit that I've ever seen happen to a multi-billion-dollar government organization. They really expect to sit on their high horses in some random office in the US and come out and say that he had no client list and presumably no victims and that he did kill himself. And then they did provide the footage showing that no one was in Jeffrey Epstein's cell. As if they didn't say that the camera footage was mysteriously cut out. And like some other shit too. Like the camera footage was cut out and they did have a client list because someone was arrested for trafficking trafficking minors to people who presumably was on Epstein Island. So they just expect all of us to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, Jeffrey Epstein, he's an innocent guy. So if Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, why was he in jail in the first place? What would he be doing in jail? And if he was in jail, why would he kill himself? I'm looking for that explanation that the FBI has to make up. Why would he be in jail? And why would he end himself? Why would he game end himself? It makes no sense. Because it'll be like, if he did nothing. Well, I know, people like groomers and like, EDPs. They usually go in jail and they do game end themselves in fear of like what's going to happen to them. Which makes sense, They don't treat, those people kindly over there. But if he had no client list, that means he wouldn't have committed a crime. Okay, that's not true. He could have groomed kids himself, but he did. We know for a fact that he had a client list, guys. Let's not be stupid for a second. He definitely did. He definitely had a group of people, the flight logs. Because if he doesn't have a client list, who would have? Why did y'all leak these names in the early 2020s? Because y'all remember Stephen Hawking was the most shocking one. There was a couple of them that got released and a couple names that got released, right? So if that's the case, the people that were on that list should have been arrested if they haven't been already. Like if there is no client list, we're presuming that there is no client list in general, or let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's the only names that got released. That's the only names that were on the island. Why aren't those people arrested? I know for a fact that there's a lot of them that are still alive. We know this. And that's just something stupid that I find. Another thing that I want to talk about is the floods. The floods that's going on in Texas. The first thing I want to say, rest in peace to all the families. Because I'm not no scrawny white loser who thinks it's funny when other kids die. So, I want to say, rest in peace to all those families. I wish all the best through this trying time, because I know this shit sucks. I know it sucks, bro. Trust me. I know it sucks. For me to look and see retards on Twitter talking about some, oh, I heard they died because they were using NordVPN, link in the description, to bypass and go watch porn. Shut your pasty ass up. Shut your pasty ass up. What? Is this really how far that we sunk in the political spectrum? That we've is this how far that it's come that we're so comfortable online that we could just sit by our desk and just run our mouths and make jokes like this? See, Mike Tyson was right. Social media made y'all way too comfortable to talk and not get punched in the face for it. Like, y'all way too comfortable. You shouldn't be online talking about some, oh, well, those kids are good dead because they had nothing to live for because AI and AI and AI. Even if AI is going to take over, right? One of those kids could have come along and changed it. So this has to be this week has been so brain dead. This makes no sense. No sense. How does this shit happen in the first place? How do you how does your brain work? Your brain has to be so smooth that when you turn your head, it shifts. No, it stays in the same place, like a ball bearing. And as like your head shifts, your brain stays the same place. Your head has to be that smooth. And then there's another bullshit thing that happened this week. Apparently, Diddy was found innocent on a lot of the more serious stuff besides transporting for sex exploitation, sex trafficking, transportation, providing transportation, which at max grants him maybe like 20 years. Yeah, we're cooked. I'm not gonna lie, we're cooked. We're cooked. And I want to just point this out, guys. Just because he may get out because he has Brian Steele, niggas in real life Saul Goodman. I'm gonna give him. We have to give Brian Steele his props here. He freed Young Thug and Diddy. We have to give him his props. We have to give that nigga his props. We have to give him his props. He joined the case. Like, the last thing I heard from the Diddy trial was that Brian Steele joined the case. And then the next thing I'm hearing is that he's getting the most serious shit dropped. We have to give bro his props. I'm gonna keep it honest. We have to give him his props. But the jury has to be some of the most. I hope they all go to a Diddy freak off. Not even a party, a freak off. And I hope Diddy gives them the most warm baby oil lubed up thanks that he can. Cause y'all have to feel some shit to make y'all understand how serious this is. Remember they said they got 1,000 calls in one day? Freaking 1,000 calls and he's innocent. And the only thing I have to say about this is that Diddy's never getting his reputation fixed. Especially with some of the clips from his Instagram that's flowing around. But anyways, there's nothing we could do beyond this point besides sit here and take the D. Unless one of us gets up and stops it. Thank you all. Make sure to subscribe,